My video for November the 13th, 2018, is entitled Caught in a Trap, and it's video number 2905. My favorite male singer of all time is Elvis Presley. I listen to his music more than any other singer or group, with hardly a week going by that I do not listen to one of his albums or collections of songs he performed. Suspicious Minds is one song he did, and the words, "Caught in a trap, I can't walk out," rang so true to me as I listened again recently. Of course, he sang that it was, quote, "because I love you so much, baby," end quote. Of course, wait a minute, I just said that. Well, I think we're all caught in a trap, if not deceived by God, as I wrote many years ago in a poem, certainly deceived by the world in which we live. He had and spent all the money anyone could ever want. Well, almost anyone. Was he a happy man? I did not know him personally, so the best I can do is conjecture. I don't think he was happy, despite his success and the numerous friends he had in his life. He obviously had a spiritual side, judging by all the gospel songs he sang. He was also a man who did not lack sexual partners. The question, however, that comes to my mind is simple. Did he feel he was loved? I think the answer for him and for most of us is simply no. Life on this planet, with or without sexual partners, is a search for love. A search that, I believe, most often ends unfulfilled. Many factors contribute to this disappointment. Let me share some here. Yes, I think we all have a longing for something more. We may, at different stages of our life, put a different label on what that something more is. But in essence, it can probably be boiled down to a feeling of lack. We lack something that's going to make us feel complete. Perhaps, as some say, it's because none of us are complete. I just listened to a video recently with a lady from Finland talking, and this is not the same lady that I referred to in the previous video, by the way. Man, I didn't write down her name, but in any case, this lady is a very educated woman, and she had a near-death experience, and she came to the conclusion that in the spirit world, we are neither male nor female. And race is even irrelevant. It's a totally different dimension and a totally different experience. And as she shared her experience, she realized that even though the Illuminati tried to kill her, she was able to survive, and is, I guess, still surviving. The video was from a few years ago. Again, it's the same person that was interviewing the previous lady that I mentioned in the last video, which he's an interesting guy. I think it would be good to have an interview with him and find out more of what makes him tick. But in any case, folks, I believe that as humans, with our codons turned off, as I've said in other videos, many of them, we do not realize fully who we are. We do not realize that we are powerful, and we do not realize that we are loved. Even when we are in a good relationship, or a reasonably good relationship, there are moments in time, I believe for all of us, that we ask questions. Does this person really love me? And I think the root of that is that we have been so brainwashed and so manipulated in our culture that we don't love ourselves. And I think that's the real problem. Love is not from something out there, it's from something in here. And the in here part is the part that we have to get straight. And we talked about that in the meeting that I chaired last night. We had my friend Steve Hart, the magician, talk about the same dilemmas and the same problems. In fact, I should have brought that paper with me because I don't remember even the title he had, but it was really, really an interesting discussion, to put it mildly. And I was very pleased that he took the time to come and share with the group. And we all have a sense of lack, and some of us believe that the only thing that counts is what's inside. Now, I was one that expressed the thing that it's both inside and outside that count, not one or the other, but both and, not an either or. And I think most people thought it was an either or thing. If we focus on the outside thing, we're going to be disappointed. And we should only focus on the inside thing. Well, I personally don't agree with that. I think that in order to be fulfilled, it has to be both and. Both the inner work has to be done and the outer work has to be done. And the frustration for me, the disappointment of my longings, the disappointed longings, comes from the fact that the world is filled with lies. And we live on a planet of deception, not a planet of truth. And this is so obvious to me that the financial system, the religious system, believe it or not, and of course the political system, are riddled from top to bottom with lies. If a politician is moving his or her lips, the odds are very, very high. I mean, probably 98, 99% at least, that they are not telling the truth. It's just the reality that we can observe if we have the capacity for critical thinking. And we need that capacity to look at something and to get sort of outside the programming of the system, to think independently and to feel the deep feelings, the disappointments. And yes, I have a suspicious mind. I suspect that we have been manipulated beyond belief by those that we look up to as leaders in various fields. And we need to be suspicious. Thankfully, our suspicion, and with the internet, which was a spying technology, as I've said so many times, with the internet, we are able, those of us that are willing to think outside the box and explore, we're discovering a lot of things that have been hidden from us, and the intent of the establishment was to keep them hidden. And yet, many wake up. This is a beautiful thing. And I'd like to see the awakening continue that will get us out of this trap that we've been caught in. We can't just walk out. We have to be transformed out. And it's the transformation, to me, that's really, really important. Love, real love, transforms. It's not about sex. It's not about money. It's about an inner fulfillment and an inner knowing. And both have to work together, the fulfillment and the knowing. Anyway, these are things that I've been thinking about, and I appreciate, as always, that you took time to listen. Namaste.